Hello, my love, and welcome to another episode of the High Ticket Coach podcast. Your host here, Michelle Hext. Today, I'm going to talk with you about the secret to my success. And the reason that I'm having this conversation with you today is because of something that I did yesterday. And it was a very Michelle type thing to do. And as I sit here this morning, I've already planned my week. I did that yesterday, but I'm going to go for a walk in a second, but then I want to dive into my list today. I love Mondays. It's Monday here in Melbourne, Australia, and I love Mondays and I love my list. I love having purpose and I love making progress. They are like crack to me. If I've got purpose and I'm making progress, I'm a happy girl. All right. So yesterday, what I did was I pulled together my funnel to sell my program, the 5K Formula. And if you've been following me for a while, if you've known me for a while, you know that this fucking funnel thing does my head in. I have been so through the ringer with this thing, just trying to get it to work in a it's never passive income, but I've wanted to add an evergreen funnel-based product to my business. And my high ticket stuff goes crazy. And it's so ironic. Whenever I've run the funnel to my 5K Formula program, I pick up private clients. It's like I'm trying to sell the freaking course and I end up signing private clients. They end up in my DMs, we have a chat and they become private clients. So my ad spend ROI is insane. Like the return on investment that I get for my ads is ridiculous. But it's not achieving the thing that I actually want it to achieve, which is creating a passive income product. Yeah, that just ticks along in the background. And I created this amazing 5-part or 4-part video series. No, it's 5 parts actually. And I ran this lead magnet and it was it was so amazing. I was looking at it. It's like, why are people not investing in the program? Like this freebie is so fucking good. Like it's amazing. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to remove the worksheets and just make it about the videos so that I'm not giving away too much. Anyway, I have tried and tried and tried, and everybody has looked at that funnel or that lead magnet and they're like, it is amazing. And you know what I figured out the problem was? I'm giving it away. I need to charge for it. And then the upsell will be the 5K Formula. And so yesterday I got up in the morning, I did the food prep and did a bunch of other things. But by 8:30, I thought, you know what? I've just invested in a new Facebook ads program. I'm just going to have a little look at the content so that by tomorrow, I'm going to be ready. I'll have learned a few things and I'll be able to hit the ground running. Well, I started looking at the training and then I'm like, fuck it, I'm doing it. And so that was 8:30 in the morning. I didn't leave my desk till about 5:30 in the afternoon. Obviously, I had a couple of toilet breaks, grabbed something to eat, but I was still in my pajamas at 5:30. I didn't have a shower until 5:30 because I was just so in the zone building out this funnel. There's still a couple of things that I need to do today before I pull the trigger on it, but I'm so excited to run it. And this is what I want to say about the secret to my success. I persevere like a motherfucker. If there's something that I want, if there's something that I want to achieve and I haven't been able to achieve it yet, I might put it to the side for a little bit, but then I roll my sleeves up and I get back in. It's like, okay, I've got more information now. I've learned something. Let's go do this again. And I don't give up. I will give up on some things because they just are no longer aligned. But the things that get stuck in my craw, like not being able to create this freaking product, I just won't let it go. I'm like a dog with a bone. And so I credit that as part of my success. If there's something that I want, I just don't give up. And so I went to figure out, how can I learn this? How can I learn this on a deeper level? And so I invested in a program that is a deeper Facebook ads training. There's live calls, there's support and things like that. So I can ask direct questions. I can get direct feedback. I can share my screenshots with the experts, because I want to nail this fucking thing. And it's really ironic. When I started the program, I didn't really have a set product that I was going to go to market with. I just thought I'd run some leads, a lead campaign to something else. And what I came to realize is that, why run a lead campaign when you can run a sales campaign? Now, if some of you are already nailing this, you might be like, what a dumbass. Like, of course. But I've always just been of the opinion that we create a lead magnet and then we upsell people. But I've not wanted to do that for such a long time, because it's like, I'm not consuming lead magnets. I'm just not doing it. No, it's noisy out there. It's just not the same that it was. And the ads weren't working as well as I wanted them to. And then I realized, yeah, but if I buy something, I mean, I got into the ads program because I bought a $87 product and then went into the sequel for the live launch for a live program, and I joined that. And it's like, yeah, that's how I buy. That's how I want my people buying. Give them a really good experience, and then, yeah. But I want some skin in the game. And so it's like, I've never run a sales campaign before. Actually, I think I have, but the price was too high. And so here's the thing, right? I have tried many things. I've spent tens, probably hundreds of thousands on teams trying to get this thing to work for me, and it's never worked. And they've all tried to run a lead campaign, never a sales campaign. And I am going to pull the trigger on the ads in a couple of days. I have an issue with my ads account again. It's been limited. I don't fucking know why. I can only spend like $38 Australian a day for 30 days, and then they'll lift it. So it's a pain. But the sooner I get started, the sooner I can start to optimize this thing, and the sooner that cap is lifted, then I can start to spend more. And in the meantime, I'm going to get lots of information. I'm going to be able to go back to the experts in the group and get feedback so I can get this right. But here's the thing. This was sitting under my nose the whole time. I just didn't have the perspective, right? I didn't have the perspective. And no one said in this course, oh, do a sales campaign instead of no one said that. Like, it wasn't spelled out that way. But I just started to put myself through the course, and it's like, oh, I'm not doing a sales campaign. I'm going to move straight to a lead campaign. And then I just had the realization, but why? And then I thought, what have I got to sell? And then it's like, oh, that 5K lead magnet is amazing. So why not monetize that and then move people into the full 5K formula? And so that's when that light went off in my brain yesterday. That's what I spent the whole day doing, just building it out, building the opt-in page into a sales page, et cetera, et cetera. And it just feels really good. It feels amazing. And I'm not worrying about upsells. And there's one upsell that's obviously, giving them a really good experience in the lead, what would have been my lead magnet, but now a paid short course. And then there are going to be a percentage of people who want the 5K formula. And then there's going to be some who purchase the VIP, where they get to work with me while it's still on offer anyway. And so I had to also make this shift around, but that's not feeding into what I want right now, like as far as the bigger picture. And it's like, but it doesn't have to. The 5K formula will be its own funnel. And of course, there are things like my lead magnet mastery for coaches. There is the content mastery for coaches. Like, there are so many products that would fit that funnel so well. And so I'm just going to let that be its own thing and do its own thing. And I know there will be a percentage who want to find out more about the mastermind, et cetera, right? But I just want to let that be set up in its own little ecosystem. And that'll be one revenue stream that I nail before the end of the year that will generate 6 figures. With the help of the people in the course, I'm going to have that result. I just know I'm going to have that result. And so what did I do differently? I got help. I invested in help. And so sometimes we don't get the direct result. The idea didn't come from somebody telling me what to do, but being exposed to more information helped me. It sparked an idea that made me realize a few things about what I'd been doing. And, straight away, the idea was like the 5K formula is not dead. Like, this is what I need to be doing. This needs to go into a funnel because it's such an amazing product. It's where it all started. And I stopped overthinking, trying to make it fit within the current ecosystem, and just went, you know what I've noticed over the last few months is I am creating so many separate revenue streams. I've got my coaching business VA. I've got my mastermind. I've got some other products. Now I'm going to have this one. And I'm really enjoying building out these different streams. And now I'm in my CEO era. I get to oversee these things. I wanted to build this and get it up and running, but someone will step in and manage this for me. And it's feeling so good to diversify that way. Anyway, so what are the takeaways for you around that? If there's something you can't give up on, it keeps coming back over and over and over and over and over again, it means it's hanging around, like the 5K formula funnel, right? It's not going anywhere. And so I needed to invest in something and somebody with more expertise than I have, because there was just answers I didn't have. There was knowledge I didn't have. And so I do what I'm asking you to do, which is invest in the sort of help that you need to be able to get the result that you want, right? And so I know a lot about Facebook ads. I know a lot about, getting a return on investment for my Facebook ads, but I don't know how to build an automated funnel. Well, I know how to build the funnel itself, but I don't know how to get an ROI that is sustainable and that I can continue to grow and dial up. And so if I don't know how to do that, what am I going to do? I'm going to invest in somebody who knows how to do that so that they can help me do it. And I have invested over time, but I've invested in people doing it for me for the most part, or doing it with me, I guess you would say. And it just wasn't working for me. It just has never worked. And so what I want to talk to you now is, when I talk about my mastermind, my She Mastermind program, that's one of the goals within it. My goal is to teach you everything I know. And so my people are also going to benefit from this new learning that I'm doing. That'll be the third part of, that'll be, a section of the mastermind that I am going to add. But I don't tell my people what to do and how to do it specifically. I am doing it with them. I'm helping them learn. I want to plug the gaps in their knowledge so that they can do whatever they need to do. And they're going to be critical thinkers. So right now I'm thinking critically around the funnel. So it's very much about, okay, so it didn't work before. What information have I got? And then a light bulb went off. Oh, people don't value free. I know this. Let's make it paid. Let's monetize it and let's see how that goes. I'm going to be testing this till the end of the year, no doubt. But I will figure it out, and I've got the help on board to do that. And so my masterminders are critical thinkers. So they are able to have these thoughts about, okay, this is the offer. It's not quite fit. It's not feeling quite right. I need to pivot. And they know how to work themselves through those problems that come up. And they have me to support them to make sure that they're not heading off in, a crazy direction or aborting the mission too soon and things like that. They have me on board. But the whole purpose of the mastermind is for them to learn the skills that I have and to learn the way that I think more than anything else. Because when I teach them how to think, it means that they can be thinking critically. They can run things through a filter. They know how to make really good decisions. And so, yeah, that's that's what we want, right? We want the framework to be able to bring our own things to life in our own way, but having support and having a framework to work through so that we stay on track. And there's a difference between a cut and paste formula where it's like just do exactly this and put your logo on it, for example, or change it to your colors. That stuff rarely works. It rarely works for people like me and the people that I work with, because they're all very driven and very ambitious, and they're individuals. You know, they want to figure this stuff out for themselves, but they also know, they're smart enough to know that they don't know what they don't know and to get some help. And so it's just a really great balance in the mastermind for people to have the structure and the framework, and also be able to implement things their own way and have me on board to, as I say, make sure they don't make any crazy decisions. But if you don't know something, if you've got a goal, if you've got a target, if you've got a dream, if you've got a product that you know in your knower is meant to be out there and it's meant to be successful, but you're lacking information right now, you just don't know what you don't know, and you've been spinning your wheels for a while, it's time to get some help. You know, I know when I need to get help and I invest in help. That's one of the secrets to my success. I'm very good at understanding when I'm at my edge and it's like, okay, I've wrought it this far and now I need some help. And I get the help, I learn what I need to learn, and I hit another level. And that's what we need to do. We don't know everything. We can't always have all the answers. And when we're always stretching ourselves and always pushing to an edge, and we're adding different skill sets, and because here's the thing, right? We're always evolving and we want to be stimulated and challenged. I get bored. And so I am always wanting to add different things as long as it's aligned. And I want to be trying new things, and I want to be testing new waters, and yeah, trying new things. And I get to do that. I get to do that. And sometimes, because it's not within my zone, I'm going to bump into things. And my first port of call isn't to hire someone. It was, you know, as I'm talking about my funnel, for example, I hired people and spent lots of money to get people to fix this problem for me, and it didn't work. So that was the first thing. It's like, yeah, I'm going to pay someone to do this for me because I don't want to handle it. And then it's like, okay, that didn't work. I'm going to need to learn this. And I've known this for such a long time. If you've been in my world, you know this, right? I just keep going back to it. I'm not ready to let go paid traffic in the way that I want it to work for me, because paid traffic is it's the shortcut, right? But of course, you can't use paid traffic unless you've got all your ducks in a row, as an aside. But okay, I'm just starting to waffle now. Yeah, I've lost my train of thought, but that's okay. Here's the other thing, right? So yeah, that's what I was saying. Oh my God. So hired people didn't work. I'm going to have to learn this thing. I want to learn it. It feels important to me, and it feels important to me to get the 5K formula funnel up and running. It's always just felt important to me when I stopped running it as a live program. And so if you've got this thing that feels important to you and it won't let go, I'm talking, this thing has been a thing for me for years and years. And I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. And you will figure it out too, but it might just mean that you need to get some help. Okay, so the number one secret to my success is I persevere. I don't quit. I persevere until I get the result. Yes, I might take a little break and focus on other things, or I would go fucking mad, but I always come back to it because I know it's important, right? So make a note around that. And then the other secret to my success is I know how to inspire myself. I know how to get myself to a place of creating a vision, getting excited about it, and taking action. And that's an art I've developed over time. I know what works for me. I know how to get myself inspired, motivated, whatever you want to call it, right? I know how to do that through my seasons in terms of I know how to do that when I'm elevating into a different space or when I'm outgrowing something and I'm ready to make some changes. And I know how to do it on a daily basis. I know how to inspire myself so that I'm taking inspired action every single day. And part of that leads into the segue of number 3, which is I pivot when it's time to pivot. I make changes when it's time to elevate. I don't stay in a place where I'm bored because I will make a mess. And so, as you know, I've moved into my CEO era, and that inspires me every single day, managing my team, helping them, building out their assets, as I've spoken about before, thinking about tasks that I can give them and take off my plate, looking at the different systems that I'm building that they get to run. That is inspiring me. And knowing when it's time to elevate out of the space that I'm in into something new, I know when to do that. This is a skill I've developed over 30 years in business. I just know when what I'm doing has run its course and it's time for me to move into the next phase. And so I can hang around in this like weird space for a little while because it's like, I don't know what it is, or I resist it. I pretend I don't know what it is, but I know what it is, and I don't really want to take action on it yet. So I just stay in this kind of limbo state for a little while. And then it clicks into place. And that sitting in that question or that limbo space, I've started to really honor that process in me. I used to try to rush it, and now I just honor it. I know that, okay, I'm in that weird space again, don't really know what's coming next, kind of do know what's coming next, but am I ready for it? And then I start to just plant a seed in my mind and start to percolate, let that seed start to grow, I guess. And I think about all the different things that I can do and what do I want to do and what inspires me. And I just sit with it. And I sit with it for a few weeks sometimes. And that's really difficult for somebody like me who, likes to rip the band-aid off, likes to take action fast, likes to make fast decisions. But I'm just moving into a different time for myself. And I've learned, as I say, I've learned to respect the process. And instead of jumping into things quickly, which has always served me well, I just don't feel the need to do that right now. Yeah. And so the CE era was born and the hiring of the team was born, as I mentioned last week or the week before, or probably for the last few weeks, I had that health scare and that plunged me into this 6-week period of unknown. And I had to really start to think about what I wanted my business to look like, considering that I might need treatment and things like that. And so that was amazing. It was the perfect little bubble that I needed to be in to be able to create this next evolution. And yeah, so a secret of my success is being able to sit with the question these days. Back then it was, I would answer the question pretty quickly. These days I'm taking a little bit longer, and that's okay. But I know when change is upon me. I know when it's time to pivot or elevate or change something because I've outgrown something. I just know. I know what that looks like now, and I know to honor the process, and I know that it's going to deliver something incredible. And that's when I have a quantum leap. And so let's go back to, because I know I'm running out of time. I've got 6 minutes left on this recording. So I just really want to give you some solid takeaways. The secret of my success is, one, I need to have purpose and be making progress always. So if I'm sitting in this space of being bored, if I'm, in the past, I have hired team members and got bored, but I haven't known what to do with the extra time that I had. Now I do. So there's always learning, right? So this perseverance so the first, I guess, purpose and progress are important factors for me. They keep me inspired. But knowing not yeah. So persevering. So knowing what I want and making sure that I just don't quit and keep going. And sometimes things take so much longer than I want them to, but it's okay because I'm learning all the way. I plan to have a 7-figure funnel next year, and I can't do that without going through all of the things that I went through over the last few years trying to get this thing to work. I've just been gaining more and more information and more experience, and it all accumulates, right? So, number one is I don't quit. So, don't quit. Don't quit. Number two is I get help when I need it. I know when I'm at my edge. I know when I have taken this thing as far as I can take it, and then I'm ready to get some help on board so I can go to the next level. And a lot of you aren't investing. You're too scared to invest. It's important that you start to do that. And then I'm aware of when I need to pivot, change, elevate, whatever it is. I'm aware of this thing. It's like, I don't know, it's just a sense that I have where it's like, oh, okay, I'm getting ready to level up. Like I'm bored, I'm not fulfilled, I'm not challenged. I need to learn something new. And so learning is so important to me. And then I also know how to inspire myself so that I'm always feeling inspired, whether it's about the next big thing, the next 12 months, the next quarter, the next project, or what I'm going to do today. I know how to do that. And a lot of the time, not feeling inspired is, for you guys, it's a lack of clarity. It's a lack of purpose. It's a lack of knowing what to do next. You might feel like you're not inspired or you're not motivated, but usually it's because you don't really know what you need to do to get a result. And so the best thing you can do is get some help to get that clarity, because the clarity is such an important piece. It's the first thing that we do in any of my programs. You've got to know what you want, and you've got to know how to get that thing that you want. And if you don't know those two things, then you need to get some help, but don't quit. And for me, I'm lit up by this journey that I'm on right now as far as being the CEO in my business and all of the experience and wisdom that I've gained over the years. It's like everything is lining up perfectly for me. And it's the same with my funnel. Everything is lining up perfectly for this to be way more successful than it ever could have been before. And so trust the timing of your life as well. I've learned to do that. I've learned to trust the timing, and I don't get caught up if things don't work. It's like, okay, cool. It's move on to something else for now. And then I always go back to it because I don't quit if it's still aligned. Another thing, I'm just going to drop this in quickly. Another thing that I did in my business last week was I secured finance, third-party finance for coaching with my company. In Australia, I'm working on the US and Canadian markets as we speak. But now, instead of my clients having to pay me off over 12 months with my payment plan, they can pay me off over between 5 and 7 years, which makes it so much more affordable. That's something I wouldn't have had the time or the energy or the idea to explore pre-CEO era. And so, what era are you in right now? What do you need to know? What do you want? What do you need to know to achieve the thing that you want? And if you don't know what you don't know, get some help. I'm here. And I've got something special for you coming up. I'm going to drop the link probably today. It's my 2024 Success Planning Bootcamp. Check the links in the show notes, or head to my Insta bio and check it out. I've got to go. I've got 40 seconds and I don't want to drop the ball with this, but I will see you next week. Pop into Insta. Let me know your thoughts on this episode. I would love to hear from you. Bye for now.